Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Islamic Knowledge Channel. The Jinn A Scientific Analysis. This video is very thought provoking and intended to stimulate thinking and further research among Muslim scholars, scientists, and students. The Quran mentions about jinn in several places. The Quran specifically says that human beings are made of clay and also made of water. These statements are scientifically correct. With regards to the jinns, the Quran also says that they are made from a flame of fire. A. Yusuf Ali, the well-known English translator of the Quran, says in his note number 929 that jinn is simply a spirit or an invisible or hidden force. It is also mentioned in the book Arabian Nights that they become personified into fantastic forms, which we will see later as possible. The Quran says, "And the jinn race we had created before from the fire of a scorching wind." In note 1967, Yusuf Ali says, "Hidden or invisible forces are aptly typified as arising from the fire of scorching winds." His scientific definition of jinn is given in the Quran as, "And he created jinn from the fire free of smoke." This is a whole surah called jinn or the spirits in the Quran. Muhammad Markmudi Pickthall, also translator of Quran from England, gives another meaning of jinns. He says another meaning of jinns is foreigners, aliens, which means they are extraterrestrial from outside the earth. The reader must keep in mind these definitions of jinn to understand their scientific nature given in this article. Currently held view is that in the whole universe only planet Earth harbors intelligent beings such as humans who are made of clay and water. In 1927, Sir Francis Younghusband wrote a book titled Life in the Stars, John Mackay, London. In this book, he describes the inhabitants in the stars as beings with angelic qualities. Our sun is also a star. No religion in the world except Islam has the concept of jinn. On earth, all life is made of carbon and water. Living things on earth need energy for their activities. Some of these activities are chemical reactions which need a supply of energy. This supply of energy comes from the food we eat, particularly the sugars. Fat is also a source of stored energy. When sugar, glucose, are oxidized with oxygen, they are converted into water, carbon dioxide, and energy. This is a process called respiration. Similarly, creatures elsewhere in the universe, such as the sun or stars, need energy. For those in the sun itself supplies the energy. Life in the sun. Based on the laws of physics and chemistry, scientists argue the existence of creature in the sun. The uttermost part of the sun is called chromosphere and corona. The temperature here is 4000 degrees centigrade. Underneath the corona lies photosphere where the temperature is 5700 degrees centigrade, which is the temperature on the surface of the sun. Inside the photosphere lies plasma interior. Here the temperature is 30,000 degrees centigrade. At this temperature, the atoms lose their electrons which wander freely. The density of the hot gases is equal to that of air and the surface of Earth. Halfway towards the center of the sun, the temperature rises to several million degrees centigrade. Here, the electrons are completely removed from their atoms and move freely, leaving the atomic nuclei behind as positively charged ions. These separated positive and negative ions move independently of each other, and this state of matter is called plasma. Plasma could be interpreted as the smokeless fire described in the Quran. At the center of the sun is the core where the temperature reaches 10 million degrees and the density is 5 times greater than that of solid gold. That is the density of the core, which is greater than any material found on Earth. In the core of nuclear fusion reactions occur, resulting in fusion of hydrogen nuclei into helium nuclei plus liberation of energy which we receive as the sunlight. The hydrogen bomb works based on nuclear fusion, whereas the atomic bomb works based on nuclear fission, splitting of the atom nucleus. Scientists G. Finberg and R. Shapiro, Life Beyond Earth, published by William Morrow and Co., Incorporated, New York, 1980, predict that there is the highest possibility of finding life in the plasma of our sun or any sun. They call these creatures as plasma beast. The plasma beast can be construed as nothing but the jinns. Life on Earth is called chemical life, whereas the life in the plasma of the sun is based on physical life. In the plasma, the positively charged ions and the freely floating electrons, negative ions, are both acted on by the intense magnetic force present in the sun star. The jinn are interpreted to be composed of patterns of magnetic force together with the groups of moving charges in a kind of symbiosis. The possible inhabitants of plasma land, place of inhabitants or jinns, have a more complex basis of their life involving charges as well as magnetic force. The positive and negative ions interact and respond to the presence of magnetic forces. The stable structure and movement of the jinns is influenced by the magnetic forces. In physics, we know that the moving charges influence the motion of these electrical charges or ions. This situation is similar to the influence of proteins and nucleic acids in Earth life. Finally, these processes result in a favored form. For this to take place, supply of free energy is required, which is obtained from the flow of radiation within the sun. Therefore, the jinn can be construed to use radiant energy in their vital processes.